And what happens upon freeing these people that you have consistently demonized, dehumanized, victimized, and oppressed? How do you coexist? And some, like Thomas Jefferson, didn't believe it was possible to coexist. Suggests that they should be moved way beyond, back to Africa, away from the memory, the 10,000 recollections, to quote him, of what has been done to them. That he believed would end up causing the extermination of one or the other race, white or black. He didn't believe they could coexist because we'd remember what was done to us. So what do? You erase the memory.
Thank you for tapping in. This is your man, Brian HRap B. Williams. The End of the Bench Media. Thank you. Sorry for the delay. Had technical difficulties. With that being said, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that share button. Tell a friend to tap in. And if you already know, you know the routine. We've been doing this long enough. If you're not watching this live, www.theendofthebench.com, www.theendofthebench.com is where you can reach me. You can catch the video in its entirety. I'm going to show you, as well as this entire program. Thank you to my parents, to Lois and John. Without them, you'd be doing something else with your valuable time. They created me. I created this. Let's get the show on the road. Now, the blueprint. What is the blueprint to? The blueprint is the destruction of our people. The destruction and or the control of our people. They'll prefer to control us, but they'll destroy us if they have to. This is the plan. If you don't believe that, then what I want you to do is take yourself out of, I want you to look at your situation here in the United States of America as a person of African descent, or if you ADOS, or whatever you want to determine yourself as. If you look like this, what I want you to do is remove yourself from your own personal experience. And then don't make it a black and a white thing, or black a government thing, or black on drugs thing, or whatever you think I'm talking about. I want you to put yourself in a relationship status. If the United States of America was trying to date you, would you date it? See, I can break it down to the simplest form, and then that way there is no pushback. There is no, well, see, it could be blah, 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 blah. What it is I want to introduce you to the concept of these people are trying to control or destroy us at every turn. You'll see it in the video later. You'll see it. It's on a platform called History No Chaser on YouTube, or you can go to www.theendofthebench.com and check it out. It's in its entirety. My man, to get credit, I'll get credit. You be doing me a favor. People have been visiting the website. I'm up 62%. Thank you. But let's get back to the topic at hand. The blueprint. The blueprint is to control us. Since 1619, they've been attempting to control us. Pope Julius, I think, in the 1500s, legalized enslavement of African. Vasco da Gama came around the southern tip of Africa, grabbed a couple of our brothers and sisters, and took them up there. And then slavery was cool for us. And then you have dummies that, slavery's been going on for a long time. But we're talking about chattel slavery, the most brutal and destructive form of slavery in the history of the world. There is no exceptions. Well, Irish were slaves as well. But you know what? Irish were also citizens. That's when slavery in the United States of America was a 7-year period. Shout out to our brother Anthony Johnson, who sued a white man so he can keep a brother enslaved because he thought he was thinking in the situation. And that's what you had to wear for. Anthony Johnson. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. That's a fact. That ain't last week when I made the mistake. That's a true fact. Anthony Johnson. Now, but back to the point at hand. If America was trying to date you, what you would do is, you remember a lot of us come up in under the poverty line, or at the poverty line, or working class people. So we didn't have the flashy clothes, we didn't have a nice car, and maybe we didn't have our hair cropped the way we wanted it, or whatever your situation was, you were in a deficit. And people that pay attention to you when you're in that deficit. So why in the entire hell would you pay attention to people now that you're out of the deficit? That's not what you would do. You wouldn't hit the lottery and go to the girl house that did, or the guy house that didn't want to date you, or in regards to women, get your body cut to the finest. Now you got the good job, and you got you all put together. And that dude who told you, no, you're too ugly, you wouldn't go to his house. And America is that guy or girl that called you ugly or bummy or undesirable. And they've shown you this. And if you don't believe it, then I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pull the sheet from up under, pull the cloth from up under your eye, from the cloth away from your eye, and let you see the world for what it is. We can no longer pretend that these things have not happened. People, oh, well, the man is out to get me. I'm a person who consistently say that. I say that in a jovial manner, but it is a plan. It is actually a plan to destroy you, to get rid of you, either control or destroy you. That's why they put you in school. School does not educate you. Education comes from doing and or absorbing information and then doing. Education is not sitting at a table every day for 8 hours a day. When the bell rings, you go to the bathroom and you come back. When the bell rings, you go to lunch and you come back. When the bell rings, you go back to the bathroom and you come back. And then when the bell rings, you go home. That's not education. That's indoctrination. Because education, you show, you develop, you do, and then you move forward. And then you continue to do it until you master the skill. And when you master the skill, you move on and you do it on your own. Farming, vocation, being a professor, being a doctor, lawyer, you ever notice when you learn how to be a plumber, they teach you plumbing things, then they show you, have you do it, then they teach you some more, then they show you how to do it, or they teach you how to be a carpenter, they beat it in your head and they force you to do it until you get it right. And when you're a carpenter, measure 12 times and then you cut once, because once you make the mistake, blah, blah, blah. Why don't they teach you that about English? Why don't they teach you about mathematics? No, they're trying to get you to the point where you're proficient so you can do what they want you to do, so they can get richer and richer and richer, and you get average and more average, more average, more average. That's the plot. That's the plan. The plot, on the other hand, is this. The plot is against you. And it's a lot of people are like, oh man, it ain't no plot. See, people need to stop being lazy. How many people do you know that are really, truly undesirable? Let's just lay it all out there. How many people, if you know 100 people, I guarantee you, even if you live in a cesspool, I grew up in the projects. I used to live in the project, then I moved down the street from the project. So I grew up in the projects. And I would argue 80% of those people got up and went to work every day. Now, there were some people walked around and didn't do anything. Some people were undesirable. They joined street organizations. Some people were running a welfare situation. But you know what? Most people in my community got their behinds up and went to work. I don't know of many people who didn't get up and go to work. Maybe I lived in the greatest housing project or city housing development in the history of the world. Wrong. But maybe I was living in utopia. Wrong. Because all my homies and all their mothers and fathers, they got up and went to work. Period, point blank, end of story. Now, did I have some friends who parents participated in street activities? I did. Yes, indeed, I did. But the plot is this: to reduce your self-esteem. If you don't agree with me, explain to me why they made you 3/5 of a human being in the United States Constitution. 3/5 of a human being. Why did they compare you to chattel? Why did they do these things? It's because it gives them the ability to treat you the way they want to treat you. If it's not a plot, why do they cover up everything that you've ever done? Vaccinations, greatest things in the world, one of the greatest things in the world. Smallpox, got rid of it. Chickenpox, got rid of it. Measles, mumps, got rid of it. Polio, got rid of it. And now all of a sudden, vaccines are not that good. Because if I weaken the population, if I reduce the population, weaken them mentally, I can control them. Did they tell you, why didn't they tell you that a black man from Africa taught George Washington how to eradicate smallpox? Because if you tell people what they're capable of, they may try it. If they try it, they may get close. If they get close, they're going to start doing it. If they start doing it, they will dominate you. Why do they have you listed as a minority? Why is the 13% of the population always the number that you hear? Explain to me how it's 13% of the population, but when you had these death camps called plantations, pretty word for slavery, it had these death camps, and we used to outnumber them 100 to 1. And we were then they even had breeding camps for enslavement. So you're going to breed me, you're going to enslave me, you're going to get a bunch of us to do it, and then what you do? We're the minority. How? It's impossible. Oh, another reason it's impossible, because our black ass was here first. You have black people in these indigenous tribes. They were the indigenous people. When you read the the diaries of these people who came over here and understood that the people were here already, because you didn't discover. That's like me discovering the money in your wallet. But when you read their diaries, they describe people that look like you and I, brown people, welcoming people, loving people. They sound like us. See, but you've listened to people for 400 plus years tell you that you are a beast, a savage, lazy, trifling, criminally based, and too ignorant to learn. But at the same time, just about every major invention was created by us. If you get shot tonight, what you gonna get? A blood transfusion. How you get that blood transfusion? Dr. James Drew, black man. Guess what? Who taught you how to store the blood? A black man. The light bulb, Granville Woods. He created the filament that Thomas Edison took advantage of. Black man. Ford is the first people to mass produce cars. Who created the assembly line? A black man. Who created the transmission? A black man. Who created the video game? A black man. Who created the math for this very internet so I could broadcast this very show? A black man. Who created the Ring doorbell? A black woman and her husband. But we're lazy, we're trifling, we're ignorant. We can't be taught. You reduce someone's self-value, and then they'll never strive. If you control my mind, my body will follow. That's why I tell anybody who knows me, you start speaking bad about yourself. I don't care if you 30% R word, because we can't say the R word anymore. But if you were 30%, that's something I took from my childhood. Boy, you 30%. If you were severely mentally challenged, I'm still not going to let you say anything back. I don't care if you couldn't walk a straight line. If I let you crawl, I'm going to tell you, hey, y'all, just focus. You're going to be able to do it. Because I'm telling you, because when you believe it, you can achieve it. See, people think that's just the stuff they say in the church. Second point, they told you your God wasn't real. They tricked you into believing that your God was fake. And hey, let me ask you this. Some people say Jesus was Palestinian. Some people say he was Middle Eastern. We say he was African. He was black. Okay, good. Either way, what I want you to do is, how is it that you got names like Ebenezer and all these unique names, Middle Eastern names, African names, all throughout the Bible? And then you got John, Luke. Get the entire hell out of my face with that. See, they even teach you your ways of knowing are erroneous or fake. They tell you things that make you disagree with what your natural course of events are. Just because I use this example regularly. My grandmother used to love 7-Up pop, soda. We call it pop in Chicago. Y'all call it soda. And some people call it 7-Up. But you know what she would say? Anytime she wants something to drink, go get me a Pepsi. And you came back with a Pepsi, you'd be mad. She'd be like, didn't I tell you to bring me something to drink? If you live in Louisiana and somebody say, go get me a cold drink, if you come back with water, they're going to look at you like you've lost your mind. You know why? Because they wanted a soda. So just because you word things differently, sneakers, gym shoes, kicks, all the same thing. Just because you word things differently does not change the dictionary definition or the essence of it. For example, they tell you voodoo. Voodoo is what you call it, but the correct pronunciation is voodoo. They tell you it's black magic. Now, when you look up the word, the etymology of a word, this means where did they get this word from? The etymology of magic is the art of influencing and practicing events to produce marvelous and hidden supernatural or natural forces. It is the art of engaging or controlling with spirits. If it's black magic, that could really proceed. That could be, I'm talking to God. I'm praying to God with such reverence in my heart that he comes and helps me get through a bad situation. You don't agree? Well, how did 300 Haitians beat the most powerful military on earth at the time, the French and Napoleon? Because they prayed, they had a connection with their creator empowered them, and they got it. And you know what they said? That's black magic. And then they made you believe black magic was a bad thing. Or maybe Black magic is a direct connection to your God. Maybe. I'm not saying it is. I ain't never studied Vodun. I've never studied Vodun. But you know what? It's amazing how the closer you get to God, the more if you use your methods, they make it a bad thing. But if you use their methods, they make it a good thing. Again, they try to indoctrinate you into their way of thinking. And you know what? The closer you get to me, the closer you get to God. That's why God and Jesus write in them books. Because if you get closer to me, which in essence will be further away from God, you're going to continue to be enslaved. You're going to continue to be trapped, and you're going to continue to be away from the natural course of events. Which leads me to another part of the plot. They tell you that you're worthless. They show you the worst of you. So now you got me mentally jacked up because, oh man, we're not worthy. And then I'm going to make you ignorant and not tell you all the beautiful things that you created. And then I'm going to tell you you're not close to God unless you come through me. Nah, that's not it. See, then what I do is try to get you to get closer to who and what I am. Who and what I am. Who told you the youngest people on the planet, you should be with them? You shouldn't be with them. Do you follow your little brother around? White people who identified as Caucasian, people of European descent are the youngest people on the planet. You know for a fact that we've been here a couple 100,000 years. You know for a fact, or you may not know, but now you know, you have no Neanderthal in your blood. So how is it the youngest man on the planet can tell you who and what you are and how you should conduct yourself? See, but he's also duped you into believing, you need to just get about that laziness. Lazy and Black America should not be used in the same sentence unless you're saying, ain't no way in hell you can say Black America is lazy. Lazy and Black American, I don't want to go, we built this place. No, we bust our ass. We bust our ass two ways. We go to work and we, look, what do we teach our kids? See, in order to get the promotion, because you're Black, you got to work twice as hard. In order to get the job, you got to do twice as, so how in the hell are we? And every job, you go to the hospital, you see most of us working. You go to the public aid office, you see most of us working. You go to the grocery store, you see most of us working. You go wherever you go in America, we there working, but we lazy. Again, when you allow your adversary to teach you that you are less than, you will believe it. And you will strive to be like the people who are setting the bar. Shout out to my man T. Good to see you, man. Thank you for participating. Thank you for rocking with me. If you are that guy, girl, child, woman, boy, whatever, then you will be duped. You would be duped. See, because they're gonna tell you, because these people use God to get us off their back. They use something that was bad. No, they used the creator of the universe, the creator, Jehovah Jireh, Allah, God, whatever you want to call him. They use him to bust you upside your head. And next time you play with us, we're gonna go get him again. God is the overseer of everything. And we did not accept your indoctrinated ways of knowing the creator. That's all it is. Religion, spirituality, even a cult, to cultivate your mind. You can see people, that's why I'm saying we allow the people who control the negativity to control our mind. He in a cult. A cult just means to develop something. You cultivate crops. So if this group is developing a closer way for me to get to the creator, and I'm not doing anything negative, I'm not going against anything in nature, and I'm not hurting, harming, or destroying anything, sound like I'm with God. But hey, I'm just a podcaster, man. I'm just a podcaster. But what you need to do is stop looking at your adversaries and look at your brothers and sisters and get in line. This is how it works. It works like this. Once you get duped into believing it, now you're going to try to fit in. Guess what? You ever notice that? See, I'm old enough to remember when things like cocaine and heroin were known as the white man or the rich man's drug. So guess what? They gave you something to strive towards. Now, shout out to my man Mo. Thank you, Mo. I always participate. They gave you something to strive towards. So you know what? I ain't finna help Mo and T, because I gotta get mine. And you left Mo and T alone. But Mo, hey, get mine. Hey, y'all need to be like me. Need to be more like HRap. If y'all was more like HRap, y'all would be a dummy too. Because if you really believe it means something important to be able to sit up high where your friends, family, neighbors sit down low, you are the devil that you hate or claim to hate. I mean, it's not my responsibility. It is your responsibility, because if you're a Buddhist, if you're a Hindu, if you're Jewish, if you're Christian or you're Muslim, everything says love everything around you like you love yourself. So how is it that you got $1 billion and your brother ain't got $1 million? How is it that anybody in your family hungry and you have millions of dollars? Oh man, they need to, like y'all favorite rapper. They wasn't shooting in the gym with me, but they fed your foolish behind. They encouraged your foolish behind. And guess what? I thought you were better than that. So if you better than me and I'm lazy and I'm trifling, why don't you step to me and try to uplift me? Oh, exactly. See, that's what your scriptures say, but you ain't paying attention to the scripture, because your scripture is not leading you. You leading you. You allowing your adversary to lead you. You allowing somebody who's going against everything that is embedded in you to lead you. See, that's how it works. So then once I get this little paper, then I'm going to get their women. Nothing wrong. Hey, man, you love who you love. But if you're going over there because you think you've elevated to that, that's what's wrong. Do what you do. But I'm just letting you know, if you're dating sister over here from Portugal, or if you're dating a French girl, or you're dating a South American woman, or you're dating a Cuban woman, or wherever outside of our diaspora, if you're dating them because they a beautiful woman or man and you love them, but if you dating them because you think that's a signal of you've made it, then you don't even love you. That's how it works. Another thing, then you start putting stuff in your nose and put stuff in your arm, because that's how rich people party. But you're really reducing your spirituality with that. You're separating from God. The more evil you do, the more you move away from God. Move away. Move away. Move away. Move away. You ever notice when you get through with all that debauchery and then you start settling down, what's the first thing you say? Oh God, exactly. See, you continue to move yourself away from it, and then you continue to think you're above that. I'm above you, so I won't help you. No. Hey, shout out to Jay-Z. I can't help the poor from one of them. Now, I don't know if he's doing it or not, but that's what he said. And I'm not mocking him. I'm just saying I can't help the poor from one of them. So I don't mind. I don't care if you become a trillionaire. I want you to, because there ain't a trillion black people on the planet. If you got $1 trillion, then you can help us all. But how about this? Stop thinking about yourself. You know what? Just help everybody in your family. See, because here's the beauty. Here goes the beautiful part. If you got 6 brothers and 6 sisters, even if they're not biological, I mean friends, and you call them your brothers and sisters, and you help all 6 of them. See, I'm good. I've done mine. Guess what? They got 6 people, and those 6 people got 6 people. And like on that shampoo commercial, and so on, and so on, and so on. You'll fool around and help somebody and don't even know it. But instead, you participate in this. Listen, these are the things you put in your body when you get made it. A lot of people put these in their body when they made it. See, you don't look at it like this because it's in a better package, but that's what you're doing. Fool on one end and fire on the other. That's all. That's what you're doing. But see, it works because it's socially accepted. See, it's socially accepted to get drunk and act a fool. It's socially accepted to take hits, smoking 18, 20 blunts a day. But you know what? I'm old enough to remember when the real cool guys used to take up hits. I remember cats used to take up hits off their joint, bam, drop it in their shirt. They partying, they hanging out, they chilling, they doing their thing. And that was it. See, if you're going to use something to relax you, that's how you do it, in moderation. Again, back to those books. Those books tell you indulge, but in moderation. But you don't see, you only know the stuff that they tell you at the church, because that the dude at the church, he tell you and he say, hey, write this down and then go read it. And you read that Matthew 16:8, and you don't go to 7, you don't go to 9. You stop right there, because that fits your problem. That's like only I got taken. I'm put his business in the street. My man Mo, shout out to Mo, man. When I say this, y'all gonna shout out to him. This him right here. I want him to be celebrated. It's my man. He could have kept taking 5, 6 pills a day. He could have kept doing all that. But guess what? My man got a clean bill of health yesterday because he changed his diet. He started moving around more. And guess what? He got a 120/80. And guess what? He's getting further and further off them drugs and all that assistance. So he don't need that. He'll be using his body to regulate. He'll be using vegetables. He'll be using God's medicine. Because guess what? Oh, here we go again. Here go that book again. Because when you read in Genesis, it says, this will be your meat. And he's talking about fruit and vegetables. But hey, HRap ain't told you, hey man, hey, and then I'm gonna say, I don't read the book, I don't read the Bible. Yeah, I know, but you'll tell me about God. Either way. But that's how it works. Because we're gonna suck you into this debauchery, this foolishness, this selfishness, this do for self and don't worry about nobody else'ness. And then that's how it works. Because then I don't have to worry about anybody. Because I made it. Look at me. But at no point in the history of nature. But okay, we're gonna put, I ain't gonna say forget, because I ain't finna forget my spirituality. I'm not finna forget the Lord. But let's put the Bible over here. We're gonna put the Torah over here. We're gonna put the Quran or whatever, the Dead Sea Scrolls, whatever you want, whatever spirituality that you connects to, that connects to you. Let's just go with nature, because it don't get no more God than nature. What animal do you see working alone? You see a pride of lions, you see a bunch of leopards, you see a bunch of hyenas, you see buffalo. Everybody works together. Even birds fly in a flock. So maybe, just maybe, see, because they don't even know how to think according to scientists. They just reacting. So if they're not even thinking and they still have enough sense to come together, then what? Maybe they doing it right. Ants, they always together. Birds, I mean, come on, dog. Alligators, they're in packs. If you see one alligator, understand there's some more alligators around. So maybe, just maybe, that's the way God designed it. So you work together and you protect each other, and you protect your women, you protect your sisters, you protect your brothers. Maybe. But we have been indoctrinated into rugged individualism. So we think I made it, so I don't need to help RC. I don't need to help Mo. I don't need to help T. I don't need to help Poe. I don't need to help Keisha. I don't need to help Bo. I don't need to help Phyllis. I don't need to help Shug. I don't need to help Mike. Because it's on me. Oh man, people be hustling. See, that's your excuse. Well, okay, if people be hustling, this is what I want you to remember. The next time you short on something, you go, oh God, can you please help me? Imagine God saying, people be hustling, man, I ain't giving you no help. Or should you realize that, yes, there are some people who are vibrating low, who have separated themselves from the Creator, but he still helps them because they heal every day, but they're stuck in a holding pattern. And then he helps the people who deserve the help, who've earned the help, or he just want to bless you. Maybe you should do that. You know, like the next time the homeless dude and you got some change in your pocket, hey man, let me get, man, you ain't gonna do nothing but get high. God didn't say, don't help him get high. He said, help him when you can. See, but because the way that aforementioned plot works, you think that you're doing him a favor by not helping him. Have you ever thought about this? And I'm going to show you why it is a plan. It is a plot against us and working class people all around this country in a second. Have you ever thought about you might be the difference in that man doing something? Disagree? Check this out. Lady, she was clearly a drug addict. I was leaving church about a month and a half ago. I was leaving church. It was in the summer. leaving church, and she said, "Hey, can I have some money?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get something to eat." I said, "Ma'am, if God told me to get this to you, if you don't get nothing to eat, that's on you. You're gonna be hungry." She gave it a little $2, and I went on about my day. I went and ordered me some food. She came and showed me the food that she ordered, and she went and ate. Guess what? That lady might be on her way to recovery right now. All it takes is one person to be nice, and that could change your mentality. And then, well, what y'all do is, but what about the next dude? Well, why don't you think about how you could help the next person, how you could be a benefit to the next person? Why you always thinking negative? That's how it works, because you think negatively about everything and everybody around you. But you don't want that. Look, I saw sister girl with this man. I saw this man with this woman. He was doing wrong. And how you just gonna say what I'm doing? But you did it to other people. That's how it works. You reduce everything about you to fire up everything that's not about you. See, that's what I'm saying. You're not willing to give the same grace that you asked for. You are not willing to give it. And then they tell you, be a football player, be a basketball player. It's about the money, the bag. Who needs $1 million? But I need it. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta blow this thing up. But on the serious side, but who really needs $1 million? Would you rather have $100,000 a year for the rest of your life and 10 people and 9 more people around you get 100,000? Or would you rather have $1 million and then I'm giving you a little bit to you straight, man? You got to prove it to me, but you ain't prove it to nobody. All because you worked hard and somebody took a liking to you and you got an opportunity. That means you deserve to dig. Now you need to play God. So let me see. You worked hard and prayed your behind off and said, God, please, God, please, God, please, God, please, or spiritual please, or whatever you did. Man, I got to have this. You drew it to you. And just what? That positive energy, you should share that positive energy. That's how it works. That's why you are in the situation you're in, because you try to indoctrinate yourself into Americanized thinking. You try to indoctrinate yourself away from your natural instincts, and you try to indoctrinate yourself into the debauchery that is destroying you on a regular basis. That's how it works. And if you don't believe me, here's proof positive that HRap is you're a nerd. That's all it is. This stuff don't mean I'm smart. It just means I'm a nerd and I ain't got a whole lot else to do with my days and nights. So I look up this type of stuff so I can share with y'all. That's all it means. But it don't make me smart. It just means I care about my people. I want you to watch the portion of this video, and when I come back, we'll continue. I'm gonna close this out just a second.
In 1932, hundreds of black men were promised free health care if they signed up for a certain project. Most of these men have never even been to a doctor before. A research group got together and came up with a plan to infect hundreds of black men with syphilis to study the effects of the disease being untreated. This experiment was supposed to go on for 6 to 9 months. The participants were promised medical exams, free meals, free insurance, and they strategically chose illiterate men who was not able to thoroughly read through the agreement. One of the head doctors stated, "These Negroes are very ignorant and easily influenced by things that would be of minor significance to a more intelligent group." These men were infected and they passed the disease to their women, and their children was even born with it. In the 30s, there were no laws to enforce that they had to inform participants of the dangers of testing.
Now, did you see that? Dude, this experiment wouldn't work on a more intelligent person. Intelligence, again, does not mean I got this book right here. That is not intelligence. That's academic acumen. You can teach a monkey how to count. You ain't gonna call a monkey smart. They got orangutans that know sign language. That don't mean they're smart. See, these are, you told me a lie. You experimented on me. You put me in what we call on the street a trick bag. And then that is part of the plan. That's the plot. See, because now I've created mistrust. And when I keep creating mistrust, guess what? It was a black woman running that study. And she didn't know towards the end. So now I don't trust black people. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust anybody. So that puts me in a cage. And when I'm in that cage, it's nothing to move out of that cage. It's a process called Pavlov's law. Pavlov's law is what they do. They put a bunch of dogs in a cage. And these dogs won't leave the cage. You know, and every time they get close to the edge of the cage, they electrify the cage. Dogs are, I'm going to get shot. And then they unelectrify. And they electrify it and put a red light on. So after a while, you don't turn the electricity off and the dog get close. I got shot. And then he trains his other cohort dogs. Don't go over there. You get shot. And then when you see the red light means electricity in the dog's mind. And then after a while, you just open up the cage and you don't go away. That's how it works. How's that HRap? What do you mean? I'm going to use my city. Man, those people on the South Side crazy. So when you and all y'all come to Chicago, you scared of people from the South Side of Chicago. Some of the best people in Chicago are on the South Side of Chicago. People from the South Side of Chicago, man, those people on the West Side are crazy. And then you don't go to the West Side, but some of the best people in America are on the West Side of Chicago. And guess what? The people from the Deep South, from the Great Migration, they came up here and moved west, and then Dr. King made it so it was cool for y'all to move to the South Side. So y'all really from the West Side, and you just don't know it. But that's Pavlov's dog, because now if I leave the South Side, they might get me. But if I leave the West Side, they might get me. If I go downtown, they're going to get me. If I go up on the North Side, they're going to get me. And so you're stuck in your little box and you never develop your mind. And then you get put into a trick bag like this. That's how it works. But you know what? It's anytime you get fooled, duped, tricked, played, bamboozled, it's always the repair. The repair is always there. You can always fix what God put down here for you is for you. But you have to move towards it. You have to be God-like. See, man, people ask me, what religion are you, Adrian? None of your damn business. That's your problem. Don't worry about who I pray to. You go pray. You go pray. Don't worry about that. See, that's it. And I heard, well, did you read it? No. Did you study it? No. Did you look into it? No. Well, stop hurting. Start doing. But the repair is simply slow down. The first thing you do when you repair is you go to the doctor. The doctors in our family are our elders. Go talk to an older person. You get a headache, I bet you they give you something. Hey, how many of y'all were privileged enough to talk to a grandmother when you got a cold? She put some socks on your feet, put some onions on your feet, and in the morning you felt a little better. Because guess what? Those onions were black in the morning and it sucked out all that negativity. Dr. Grandma. See, your grandma got all that spirituality that came from the old countries. There's a bunch of countries over there, old tribes. Those things were passed down. See, while you worried about, oh man, Vodun, that's the devil. Why? Because it's black magic. But then I just read to y'all the definition of magic. See, was Jesus a magician? Was Muhammad a magician? Was Noah a magician? You ever notice like the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews, they all roll with those first group of people. They all roll with them. But it's neither here nor there. But what I want you to understand is, talk to them elders are going to enrich you. Hey, eat these onions. It's going to help you hard. How did they know that? And they ain't had no EKG machines and all that. Eat this. Eat them dandelions and fight off them disturbances in you. Eat that mullein. It'll clear up your lungs. Because see, to quote Maddie Mae Liggins Williams, my grandmama, my dear, baby pneumonia lays dormant in your lungs. You got to get something to clean out your lungs. Take this mullein. That's my grandmama. She ain't went to nobody's college. She went to elementary school. They said, I don't even think she went to high school. I know for a fact my grandfather didn't go to high school because he was on his own on the street, being fending for herself from age 9 because some good old boys burned down this town. Yeah, 9. You know, like 5th grade. 9. So talk to them elders. See, they gonna, as my grandma used to say, boy, I'm gonna learn you up. Learn them up. Get learned up. Get that loving. Go down south. Go to South Carolina. Go to Kentucky. Go to Tennessee. Go to Alabama. Go to Arkansas. And talk to them old folks. Shout out to my cousin, big cousin, Beatrice Vaughn. That's why I talk to him. That's why I got to call him soon. I got to go sleep tonight, but I'm going to call you. He watching. I know he is. He always watching. He tap in all the time. That's why I talk to him, because he enriches me. I need you to start talking to your elders. That's the foundation, because then you find out, like I did. My cousin Tony told us that Nat Turner's our cousin. My great-grandmother name is Maddie Mae Turner Liggins Turner. Turner Liggins. Yeah, that Turner. That Nat Turner. Yeah. And then she told us about how she was a sharecropper. I got land down at Tuskegee right now waiting on me. Then I talked to my cousin I pool the other day, and he told me about the land he got. See, he know how to skin animals. He know how to live off the land. He knows how to do these things, but do you? If it hit the fan, what could you do? Can you even fish? Do you know how to bait a hook? I do, but I'm just saying. See, then you learn these things. You learn how to live off the land. You learn how to defend yourself. Then you learn that a gun it's a tool, not a toy. It's not a weapon, it's a tool. Hell, a hoe is a weapon. If you hit somebody with it, a stick is a weapon, but a gun is a tool. See, then you start humanizing yourself. Then you start wondering, man, the people down south, they walk around with their shoes off. You know why? Because the earth has a magnetic force that draws negativity out of you. So maybe, just maybe, it's summer outside. Won't you go outside and place your feet on the raw dirt or the grass, depending on where you live. Just put your feet on it and just sit there for about an hour. Sit on the ground for about an hour. See, I remember when I was younger, we were ignorant. Man, that's white people stuff. No, that's black people stuff. Let the earth help you, centralize you. And then I'll say, you slow down. See, I was once taught this. When you pray, you're talking to God. When you meditate, you're sitting still with total silence, and God starts talking to you. See, that's how you repair. You get back to the essence of who you are. Oh, the people down south. No, the people down south got it going on. So this is what they know, the old ways, and we know the new ways. We come together. It's total domination in this situation. And when I say total domination, I don't mean we're going to hurt anybody. We're going to help our people. See, we're so busy trying to be on Facebook, but we need the face, that we need to have our face in a book, like a photo album, a Bible, a family Bible, look at the verse, face in some records in our family, and find out, oh my God, we own this land. Oh my God, I couldn't do this. Why do I have the urge to sew clothes? Because your great-grandmama was a seamstress, or your great-granddaddy was a tailor, and now you want to do it because it's in you, but you didn't know it was in you, like me. The stuff that I do on here for y'all, I get that straight from my father. Did I meet my father? No, he died 4 months before I was born, but the people who know him say, man, if I ain't know better, I think he raised you. See, if you feed your spirit, you'll get positive. You pour in positivity, and you will bloom glory. You will be living how God wants you to, whether you call him Jehovah, whether you call him Jehovah Jireh, and whether you call him Allah, whether you call him God. Yeah, like the little boy I saw on TikTok the other day. He asked him what God name. He said Howard. He said, our Father, Howard be thy name. If you want to call him Howard, I don't think he gonna mind. Don't you? He know who you are. But I need you to get in line with your community. I need you to get in line with your family. Ain't no such thing as baby mom. Shout out to Country Wayne and Carlos Miller. They call him Queen of the Children. Get in line with the Queen of the Children. You the king of the village. And then the other kings. And see, that's the beauty in this. See, we need to start watching things. And shout out to my man Mo. We're going to do this new show called The Couch Potatoes. And we're going to start talking about television shows. And if you actually pay attention, ladies, gentlemen, haters, and bitter friends, Television tells you the right way to do it. See, one of the biggest problems in my community is we be looking for friends. They don't like us. They don't have to. See, when you watch a television show like Game of Thrones, people, oh man, all that debauchery, man, I don't want to watch that. That's nasty. No, you watch it for the stories. If you watch Game of Thrones, you see a bunch of people who don't like each other working together to get to one common cause. See, like one of the greatest tropes in the history of this community, the Caribbeans and the Africans don't like us. Who said they had to? You don't even like a lot of people. So how the hell you mad that somebody don't like you? Oh, it's a problem when they don't like you back. But we have a common adversary. Maybe, just maybe, you start working with people who have a common adversary. You can defeat that adversary. Then you go on about your business. But you don't do that. You looking for somebody to hug you, hold your hand, and be your friend. I'm looking for allies so I can accomplish things, so I can move forward, so I can uplift my people. I don't have to like you. You know how many people I don't like? The list is longer than the people I like, I'll tell you that. But you know what? I've helped people I don't like. I help people I don't like all the time. I look at people. I got people who question things about me. They don't know anything. And I was always taught people who know don't talk, and people who talk really don't know. So I'm gonna address those things. But if they need some help, I help them. And sometimes it's begrudgingly, and I'm gonna work on that. But a lot of times I just do it because that's the right thing to do. Because a lot of people, the fact that, hey, if I told y'all how y'all see me right now, y'all see me through a blessing. Y'all see me through a blessing. This computer was a blessing to me. Y'all see how better I look on here than I used to look as recently as 6 weeks ago? Because I got to bless. So bless somebody, even if it's with a kind word. Even if it's with a kind word. So that's how you repair. You repair your family, then you repair your community, and you repair your nation. And then you come together and be allies, not friends. See, because when you have an ally, he's expected to help. A friend, oh man, I didn't think you could, ... But if we're allies, you know your position, you know your job. That being said, man, thank y'all for tapping in. It's always good, man. It's always a treat when players meet. It's your man, HRap. Watch it to the end. Comment, like, share. 2 fingers, 1 word. Dr. Amos will. No, actually, this is one of the greatest professors in the history of the world. 2 fingers, 1 word.
I often put it this way. In order for us to be in the state that we're in today as people, we have to be out of our minds. We literally have to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be backwards. It is necessary for us to be maladjusted. It is necessary for us to be disunited. It is necessary for us to be self-hating. It is necessary for us to be filled with an inferiority complex. In a world where the European is essentially about 10% of the world's population, if that 10% is to continue to rule over the other 90%, it must keep that 90% out of its mind. It must keep that 90% in a state of deception. It must keep